Okay.
No, it's been really good. It's been interesting. You know, it's forced us into looking to a couple of things. Like the last time we had spoken, we started looking over of like, all right, hey, here's what we know is in place. So one of the things we've been mulling over for a while, and I think we may have brought it up in the beginning when you first jumped on, but we've been talking about doing a membership site, right? It was like, all right, we really wanted to get into it, but we were into it. We weren't trying to find the lane of like, all right, how is this really going to work? And so what's happened over the last like 4 or 5 days is we kind of realized, I think, here's how we can make it work. So the idea behind it is to start creating more of that, having that place, I guess, where you can have that scalable item of having a bunch of people where, all right, here's our basic message to get you on board, and then we can sell other products inside of it. So Marissa started looking around at a bunch of different guys that are online that are doing, so the videos that I've been doing where I started to, you know, show the skill part of hockey and all that stuff. I haven't been on the ice yet. So what I did was I took a look at a couple of these guys of how they do it. And the way I present and all that stuff is the same energy. It's like the same feel, very relaxed. Like you get it. But like I have a little bit, I know more of that. I'll add in a little bit more of that personality, whatever it is. But they still have pretty good personality. They're more laid back, which is cool. It's not like your typical old school way of, so here's how you're going to do it, blah, blah, blah. It's more like new and refreshing kind of way. So I took a look at these guys and the information they're putting out. It hit me of like, you know what, the way they're putting out the things that they're saying, it's good generic stuff. It's good for like the simplicity of it. But the things that I have is more even deeper message on a simpler level.
Sure.
So it hit me where I'm like, if these guys are getting 500,000 views on their videos and they're like really easy, simple videos, and I know they put in the time, I'm like, then why couldn't we do the same thing on that part? So it hit us of like starting to get more, wanting to do the membership site and building that up to get the clients of the whole, younger kids, older, doesn't matter who it is, families, making it a more affordable, like a $30 a month kind of thing where people will just say, hey, you know what, for $30 a month, no problem. It's 300, just over 360 a year or whatever. Yeah, we'll support you. No big deal.
I'm going to reset you a little bit.
Yep.
Okay. You are the true entrepreneurial spirit where you're always creating and crafting and thinking about what's next. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
2 things. Too much creation all at once,
yeah,
you lose focus. Right. So I want to make sure that you're staying focused on, you know, getting folks into the programs that you've defined so far and getting that really, truly established. Because a membership site is a great idea. And absolutely, yes, you should have a membership site because you have a lot to share. Is now the right time for it? I don't really know. But because secondly, let's not forget what you told me a few weeks back, and that, you know, you want to work with the kids that want the real value. Right? Didn't you say that? Remember your words? I want to work with the $3,000 a month people. That's who I like. That's who I want to work with. That's who I want to support. Right. So a membership site at this point is going to be a distraction, right? It might take away, especially from a build out time, a lot of the time and efforts that maybe you should be putting towards building your funnel, creating your list and driving folks to the programs that you already have in place and are good to go.
Right, exactly. So I guess bringing it back to, and I know what you mean exactly, of time commitment and all that stuff, we're very aware of that, making sure like, hey, not taking on the too much part and understanding when to put them in. The reason we started to go this route and think about it, and maybe it's with Marissa's story, is where right now the one-on-one stuff in season works. In the off season, it kind of, the dynamic changes. That's one of the things I learned from last year and doing the group, is that in season it was a lot easier to take these kids and say, because there's so much live going on. Whereas in the off season, it's more of a message of learning, but it's hard for them, even at the younger age, for them to go back to those moments to go, oh, I know what you mean here. I know what you mean there. The older guys do understand it, but I guess in packaging, we look at it as.
But hold on.
Yeah.
Because does that become more of an opportunity for you or more of an obstacle for you? I wonder if you look at it as the opportunity and your program shifts in the off season where, okay, we're not doing as much ice time, but there sure is a lot of conditioning time that needs to happen. And we focus now, instead of the ice time, on the conditioning time, and the play management becomes conditioning management.
exactly.
You know, you still keep this. It's important. They've got to train in the off season, don't they?
Of course, yeah.
Right, consistently, and that's a huge mindset thing because the kids are like, I'm not on the ice. I'm going to be lazy and stare at my phone all day long. I'm not going to go condition because it's not top of mind for them.
Right.
So be careful that you're looking at it as an opportunity and not as the obstacle.
Sure. Okay.
Right. So, because what you're doing right now is just layering on as a Band-Aid. All right. You're not dealing with the real potential, which is, all right, off season is an issue because the kids aren't motivated because they're not on the ice, they're not thinking. So let's add another program to make up for the money we may not get, versus let's rethink our program so that we can show value even during the off season.
Right, exactly. Well, that's more of where my head was originally from the get-go with that part, was that because I just met with a kid last week that's a strength and conditioning. He went through the whole thing, so I thought it was cool to bring him on board because he wants to do it online. So I was like, perfect. If you could you could handle this department of you're doing it online, and then I do the rest of the stuff with the mindset, skill development. We continue on with that, but development like that. But yeah, it's interesting of like on that part. It's funny. The duality always goes between I'm here of wanting to stay zoning on this, but I know Marissa she has that feeling about the membership site. So it's like, I know I'm wanting to be here, but she gets that vibe of the membership side, which I can feel her on it, but I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about.
I think a membership site eventually is a great idea. Absolutely. But do it, excuse me, do it at a point when, it's going to be easier. Well, I mean, it'll always be valuable, but if you have your list of folks that you've already developed and now you're going to roll out a membership site, it's going to be easier to sell it to a bunch of people that are already on your list that may not have bought for you yet, and now you've offered this $30 a month membership site. Sure, boom, it's done. But don't do it as a Band-Aid, right? And I always thought that, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't ice time available all year round?
Yeah, like ice time wise, yeah, it's a matter of you have to go to the rink and all that stuff, but there's always ice. In season, it's harder to get. In season, it's really hard to get because of the rinks. That's what it is. Those 6 months, it's packed.
Yeah.
Rinks are a good rink anyway. They'll make sure from morning till night their schedule's taken care of ahead of time.
Right.
Off season is definitely a lot more potential of rinks are always, hey, we need something.
And so aren't the kids or the folks that you're working with going to want to be on the ice regardless of whether it's off season, because they're the ones that are motivated and are looking for the higher level
the skill work then they need to do. Absolutely, they'll still need to get on the ice and do stuff for sure.
So I think one of your selling points for your higher end program is that in season, off season, we're driving you through to your goals.
Yeah,
regardless. And so don't expect there to be a dip. It's just like I tell my fitness clients, my business owner clients, they're like, well, in the summer, everybody goes away and there's a dip and it's always slow. I said, it could be slow if you expect it to be slow, but there are people around. And if you put the programs and the marketing in place to bring people in all year round, including in the summer, you're never going to have a dip. It'll be steady the whole time.
Right.
And that should be your goal, to have all your programs, including a membership site, steady all the time.
Right, exactly.
Right? So my question to you is, given your work capacity and your daily calendar, your weekly calendar, and you're blocking out of the time and driving folks. I mean, right now we're working on a marketing calendar. We're working on getting some systems in place, website. We're working on getting workshops and seminars and you in front of people. Given all of that to drive folks to your programs, how much time can you afford to developing a membership site right now?
It's basically, if we put in like one time during the week where I just started creating the content, where I was like, all right, hey, this day I'm going to go shoot 4 or 5 videos on the ice and then, put together content. I could probably get one day going, especially in the time right now. It's probably more towards the video dripping and stuff like that. And then in another 2 months, I'll be able to get into, once the season's done, then I'll be able to get more into the content work, and all that stuff will be a lot easier. Once the season's done and the off season begins, it's like you kind of switch gears a little bit.
Okay, so then it's feasible for Marissa to start doing the research on the membership site and putting the framework together, and then in a month or so you can start putting videos out there.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as you can manage the flow of work.
Yeah.
Right, and don't stop what you're doing and start a membership site. Everything, right?
Yeah.
And again, remember, just because you just said, when the season stops, it lightens up. But my hope for you is that when the season stops, it still stays, because you still have the same number of clients and you're still doing the same amount of work.
Right. It lightens up in the department of the team stuff.
Okay.
It now becomes the off-season stuff, which is exactly like one of the ideas I already had for the off-season was creating the A team, which is maybe that's our most basic level, where it's a mindset shift, all that combined with basically the A team, the accountability team. So the idea is that get a bunch of these kids on board and do one practice a week where it's like the same. We go on, I talk about a different topic. I feed them 1 or 2 modules during the week, 2-3 minute modules talking about a subject. But then what I do is I create something that's like a competitive cauldron where it's keeping them all in the same spot, but they can see, how did you do in your nutrition today? How did you do in your off-ice habits today? How did you do in your rest? So making that competition.
That you should have that. I mean, every team that you have needs to flow into that during the off season.
Yeah.
Right? It's not an option, right? Yeah. So your teams are paying you a monthly fee. They pay you that all year long. Yeah. And your programming just changes based on the time of year that it is, but it's still consistent work and effort on their part to stay consistent. I mean, I keep relating. I mean, I've got a 15 and a 17-year-old. I mean, my 17-year-old trains every day of the year, except for 2 weeks off where she needs to rest.
Right.
But she is constantly training. She's a runner.
Right.
My soccer child, no, she doesn't. When she's not in the soccer season, she's not doing anything, and she needs to be.
Right.
Right? So there's absolutely no reason for any athlete who wants higher level, like college scholarships and beyond, to not train consistently throughout the entire year.
Right. Exactly.
It's up to you to provide them that consistency. Just feed it to them and say, this is what, in order for you to succeed at a higher level and get that scholarship or get that draft or whatever it is that you're looking for, it's got to be a consistent effort day. You got to sleep with your sport, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Soccer ball on the bed, the hockey puck under your pillow, your running shoes next to you. That's the way it's got to be. And so that's your niche right there, is that you will provide that consistent, focused training no matter what time of the year it is.
Yeah,
It'll
exactly.
change, right? But the accountability, the focus, the training mindset will always be there for them.
Yeah.
Because a kid will not do it on their own.
Exactly.
Well, let's say the average kid will not do it on their own.
Right, most kid. And then there's the other side. There's the kid that's like me, where I tried to do it on my own. And 6 weeks into the process, I ended up doing, as I come around the 6th lap of my 200, I puked blood because I overtrained myself. So there's the two sides of the coin of where it's like finding that balance as a kid, no matter what age you are, is next to impossible.
Yeah, so I would kind of change your mindset a little bit, Vince, in terms of thinking, my business is going to be great during the season and it's going to level off during the off season, because that's not true.
No, I know. Yeah, no, I know for sure. I know. No, I know. My head was there, and then it kind of got away with with the whole membership side of getting excited with it. But you're right, because I had it around the A team. Then I was like the A+ team, which is okay. The A team is just the accountability. I wanted to make it like at an affordable level because it's more of a group. So as opposed to, it's not just the one-on-one, but then the A+ team becomes, hey, and you want the one-on-one. So you get the plus, the A team accountability plus you get the personal attention if you want it.
Too much creation going on. You're reminding me of Stan, right? Who's got Success Rebel this, and Rebel means this, and clarity and focus and all these things and acronyms. Keep it simple. All right. Keep it simple to the programs that you've defined already.
Well, still, the A+ team is like the one-on-one. It's still the same. It's still the same program. It's just
why do you need to change the name?
I guess because it's off season.
But that's my point. Does it matter? It doesn't matter. It's the same. It's the what do I forgot?
Transformation and 360.
Right? It's still the transformation. It's still the 360. It's just that we're into month whatever, June, which is off season, so our programming is changing, right? Our curriculum is changing. The program is not, it's the curriculum is changing.
Right.
Don't confuse people by saying we're not transformation anymore, now we're A+. You're not. You're still transformation, you're still 360, but we're moving into a different phase because it's off season, so we're going to focus a little bit more on mindset and more on conditioning and a little less on skill. But it's your curriculum that changes. The program stays transformation because the goal is to keep people in it consistently for years and years, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So don't change the name. Don't confuse people. They'll be like, well, wait, what? Now I'm back to 360 in the fall. No, right? It's just change the curriculum. That's all.
Cool. Yeah, that's what. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I'll add in. So I've got the transformation 360. I'll keep that. And then I'll probably add the A team as like the most basic, because the 180 has been there, but it hasn't really worked out. The 180 is like, I don't really want to even.
Let's go back to what we talked about on Wednesday, right? You wanted to do the shorter program, right? The 4-week, remember we talked about that?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So use that as your driver.
Yep.
Okay. Because now you're flipping back to what you told me you didn't want to do, which was bring the lower end people in. You don't want a 180. You don't want to work with those kids.
Right, exactly.
Right? So don't bring it back. You don't want those kids.
Right.
You want to work with the higher level, and you need a good lead generator. So that short program is a good lead generator, right? To drive folks to transformation in 360.
Yeah.
And then eventually put them in a membership site. So the kids that, just don't want to spend the money or don't get it, or you don't even want to work with them because they're not the level you want, they can go into a membership site.
Yeah.
But for right now, stay focused on the lead generation and driving folks to a comprehensive transformation in 360, right? That encompasses no matter what time of year you can jump on board, because I've got the right program ready for you no matter what time of year it is. Doesn't matter if it's off season or on season. We're going to get you ready for your ultimate goal, which is a college scholarship or is, pros or whatever.
Yeah, keeping you zoned in. No, I like that. I like that for sure. I guess the only thing I'm still wrapping around is it's all individual based, because in the off season right now with the teams, like right now I've got a few teams that are going to be lined up, but it's not going to happen until – what I was thinking was to get going with them to say, hey, why don't we start in August, a month before the season starts. I'd like to get them in the off season. I'm just wondering financially, it's like I'm going to have to talk to a couple of the guys how they feel about it.
Well, but be careful of your language.
Yeah.
Right? Because, again, the teams are even more important.
Right.
Because the teams are committed, right? They're on a club level team. They're committed. They probably have to go through tryouts, right? They want to make the team. Right. So starting them now, getting them in the right mindset for tryouts or team play or whatever when the season starts is beautiful, right? Why wait till August? Start now, get them conditioned, because isn't that a huge aspect is conditioning? The team doesn't focus on fitness. They focus on skill and play. Yeah. You need to be fit and conditioned when you show up to day one practice. If you're not, I was at a soccer recruiting showcase just over New Year's, and I was talking to one of the college coaches, and he's like, you know what, I could have the best player come to my team, but if she's not recruited, she's playing on the reserve team. I mean, if she's not fit, she's playing on the reserve team. And he did. He had his best player who was not fit. She spent the first few weeks on the reserve team because she wasn't fit. You can bet she got fit very quickly. He said, we don't spend the time in practice getting fit. You're expected to be fit when you show up.
Right. Well, exactly. Yeah.
Right. You know that. So why would you wait until August when you have a whole team of kids that needs to stay fit, needs their mindset checked, needs to be ready for day one practice? They can't show up to practice and say, we're here. All right, Vince, tell us what to do.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And then, because what we can do is in a separation too, is to say to the club, hey, in the off season, it's going to be $300 per guy. We're going to do over the off season when school is done until season begins. I'm going to be there teaching them once a week, everything the same. That's $300 for the summer. Then when the season starts, let's reevaluate maybe or something. Because
build it into your full program.
There's no hey, in season. Here's what it's going to be. Yeah.
There's no need for reevaluation or anything. You know what these kids need.
I 100% know. Right. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, it's the, you know what it is? I guess it's my story of looking at dealing with these organizations enough to know the pushback ends up happening. The parents are going to start to ask, well, all right, I'm going to be spending $700-800 on this total. What's going on? It's all online, blah, blah, blah. Like the stories go into their heads. And I guess that's where I get caught up is I know I need to just say, no, keep going, sell it. I need to believe it, show it. Yes, I know it's online. Cut them off and just say, I get what you're thinking, but this shit works. Like something along.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And all it takes is like one kid to sign up. All the other kids are going to sign up.
Right.
Because those other parents don't want that one kid to have the advantage that their kid doesn't.
Right. Well, that's the beauty of having the team, right? It's like, hey guys, here's what we can do for the summer. It's like the cost of a camp, whatever you want to call it. $300 for the summer. Ooh. And then, hey, if anybody wants to do the individual, let us know. We'll really
and upsell them to the individual. Right. Absolutely. But as a team, this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. This is our year-long program. In the off season, we do this. In the season, we do this. And this is what it is.
Yeah, that's what I just got to figure out is that price point because of the fact that I know I'll pick up by having the team. And
let me ask you a question in terms of a price point, though. Does the time you spend with the child change whether it's season or off season?
Whether season or if it's in a team environment?
Yes.
No.
So why does the price need to change?
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking in terms of like a clinic is the way I've been pricing it around is if a clinic is $15 to $20 a clinic, then that's what your sessions should be. Like, so I'm price pointing as a team, okay, so it's $10, 20 sessions for the summer, $200, something like that.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. So to put in simplistic nature for them to go, oh, actually that's not that bad. And I get it. I understand then price wise and it's recorded and all that stuff.
All right, but the intent is that they're paying you a monthly fee each month of the year, regardless of what month it is.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's all for the betterment of their child.
Yeah. It's funny. Those are like you have to hear that from the outside source because that's just a given. Right? To me, it's like, well, yeah, no shit, it's for the betterment of their child, but for them, it's parents need to hear it. It's like, remember you had this little thing? It's good for them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's true though. I mean, parent psychology is huge. They want the best for their kid and they want to make sure their kid has every advantage that the others don't. Right? It's so competitive just for the parent as well.
Yeah, I mean that's the wild part.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So nuts. The industry, it's so crazy on many levels, but
it's just club sports in general. It's every sport: softball, lacrosse, soccer, hockey, football. It's every single sport, right?
Right.
It's the parent wants to make sure their kid is taken care of and has the advantage to start. Every parent wants to watch their kid on the field.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And so they're going to do whatever they need to make sure their kid has the advantage, even if it means like having this nasty conversation with the coach about if you don't put my kid on the field, I'm going to fill in the blank. All right. Because that happens too.
That's the irony of the whole system. That was one of the videos actually I've got coming out. It's either going to be this week or next week of talking about how you signed up for a team game, not an individual sport. Yeah. And so many parents, and I see it with our own bloodline guys, they get caught up in about them. but you didn't sign up for, this isn't wrestling, this isn't tennis. Like, it isn't all about you. And the 30,000 thoughts is what really made me go like, so think about a coach. Even if he gave 1,000 thoughts to each one of your kids, that's 20,000 right there. Then he's got family, work, but it starts to go. It's like, guys, it's like this, where your 30,000 are all zoned in on your work, your kid. So there's no way to manage that.
Yeah.
But they don't look at it as it's a team game. Like you have to see it, but that's what it always comes back to from the individual standpoint. But
all right. Well, I need you to come back to basics.
Yeah, no, I know. Listen, and I, this is where it always comes back to. No, you're right. I know, like 100%. I agree with it. This is the part where, in the past, I know at times I would get in there, but this is the part, simplicity. I always bring it back to the formula. I want simplicity. When I start to see this craziness begin, it does. There is a stress that goes, but it's also the reality of this can keep going in the off season and with the teams and stuff like that. Like, it can keep going.
It should. That, again, makes you unique, better, and different from anybody else out there doing this, because you have a year-long program that supports the kid through every month of the year, not just the season, off season as well.
I'm almost wondering if, because PHI was something that it has been our progressive hockey initiative. There was a viewpoint behind it. One of the things that I offered up to Marissa, and she didn't like it, was that doing it as an off-season plan. So just saying, like a camp. So similar to what a team program is, but saying to the younger ones, because we don't have a lot of the younger ones. So I was thinking of offering it as an online, in a camp environment where, hey, 12 weeks, this is the price, and here's what we're doing. It's similar to what Bloodline is, but it's just more for the younger kids. So I do stick handling focus. I show them off the ice how to do different programming stuff, but it's the same.
Take a breath.
Yeah.
Take a breath. 360, transformation, year-long program, funnel folks to an opt-in, build the list. Let's get that solid first.
Keep going with that, okay.
Keep growing that first. Let's get the budget organized. Let's get the marketing calendar created. Let's get all of your autoresponders, your website, get everything in place. And then let's talk about the pieces to add on.
Cool.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay.
Easy. Cool. Other question I had was video views.
Quick, 'cause I got an 11:30 call.
Yep. Video views suddenly have become low in the last 5-6 days. Is it possible that Facebook figured out we're using it for business? Is something, it's really weird that it just drastically, even the one with Naomi here I put out a couple days ago is really weird.
I don't know. I never understood Facebook. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Throw some.
It's strange how suddenly it drastically went from average of 400 or 500 to now barely 200, and I'm like, wait, but I'm still getting the same amount of likes.
Are you? Well, you know what? Just build a little cheat sheet and track the day in the video and the number of views. And if you can go back a couple weeks or even a month, let's just track and see what trends and things are happening.
Yeah, that was the other thing too. Is I was thinking just start to put them out earlier in the day. Start getting more at noon.
Maybe. Yeah, I can't tell.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. All right, cool. Just wondering if there was anything there.
But this is why, Vince, we want more poles in the water.
Yeah.
Okay, so get that marketing calendar done, and we're going to go from there.
All right, sweet. Were you supposed to send me over the basic outline of a marketing calendar? I think you were saying.
Do that?
No, I didn't see that.
My bad. I'll do it. I'll send it out to you.
All right, sweet.
Okie doke.
Thank you very much.
Simple. Basics.
Yes, I agree.
All right.
Yes, Marissa, simplicity.
Bye-bye. Gosh, get me in trouble.